New revelations more than 15 years after a family of 4 mysteriously disappeared from their Fallbrook home. I sat down with local best-selling author Caitlin Rother, who shared new insight into a case that has captured national headlines.
What made this case so compelling?
Well, the McStay family is, a mother and father and 2 little boys. And the way they went missing just vanished in the middle of breakfast. It was a huge mystery.
The McStay family murders.
Chase, you are a low-life coward and a baby killer, and labeled that. Just a monster.
A decade before the dramatic scenes that capped off a months-long murder trial, there was a mystery. Why did a family of 4, Joseph and Summer McStay and their 2 little boys, disappear from their Fallbrook home in February 2010? Video of a family resembling the McStays crossing the border led sheriff's deputies to conclude they had left voluntarily. But more than 3 years after they disappeared, the remains of the family were found in shallow graves near Victorville, along with a sledgehammer. A year later, Chase Merritt, the business partner of Joseph McStay, was arrested and later convicted in a 5-month trial.
I did not do this thing.
And sentenced to death.
Along with this case came a lot of materials.
This case was one of the biggest I've ever had to research because it took me 12 years.
In her new book, Down to the Bone, local best-selling author Caitlin Rother explores the case from the disappearance through the trial. She obtained thousands of pages of investigative files never made public.
Investigative reports, witness interviews, and background materials from both sheriff's departments. I was able to show you exactly blow by blow how these investigations proceeded.
Included in those files, a lead on a gun owned by Joseph McStay, found in a felon's car.
It somehow was traded by people involved in the cannabis industry. Another mystery that remains unsolved.
The book also takes a detailed look at several DNA samples recovered inside and outside the graves.
They didn't match Chase Merritt's DNA, and they didn't match the family. So whose DNA was it?
A question raised by Merritt's attorneys centered around another business associate of Joseph McStay, who owned a company that sold water features.
The entire defense's case was to blame Dan Cavanaugh, or at least to show that Dan Cavanaugh had the same, if not much more, of the exact same motive that they ascribed to Chase Merritt, and yet he was never even a suspect. The investigative files bear that out.
In a case that has attracted national headlines, the mystery endures.
Takeaway from this whole case is I do not know who killed this family. I'm not taking a position of his guilt or innocence. It's possible that he did do it, but there's so many holes and unanswered questions.
Michael Chen, ABC 10 News.